Alright, I'm about 3 hours into this drive, and I'm getting pretty close to my location, which is good, because for a while I was driving through a lot of overcast. I thought I might get clouded out from my shooting. I mean, I can still shoot pictures with clouds over the air, but it doesn't make a very interesting shot. It's all dull gray and not a lot of variation in exposure. So this is good. The sun's coming out. I'm feeling a little more rejuvenated with that fact, and yeah, hopefully in the next 45 minutes or an hour, I'll be getting ready to send the drone up. And you might be thinking, hold on, now on the side, you might be thinking I should be watching the road, but there is nothing. There is nobody. There is no lights, hardly any roads. There's certainly no cars. There is nothing. It's just straight, flat, nothing. I love it. I love it. I love this. This is awesome. This is great. Switch to the camera. Okay, I'm going to narrate this with the context that you came from a Patreon pitch or Facebook social media advertising, and through that link you've come across this video. What I wanted to emphasize, the quality difference that you're getting with these photos. A lot of drones will shoot decent photos, but they get pixelated when you want to expand them or look into them or print them off because the resolution there. I will spare you all the technical details with camera bodies and chip sizes and lens quality and all that stuff. I just want you to take a look at this just for the perspective of a newcomer. Now, the resolution is going to be different. Now, you saw where it was saying I was shot through a 30mm lens, but this photo is very wide angle. What I've done is I took a whole bunch of photos and stitched them together all like you would a quilt or a mosaic. And when you stitch them all together, you get a lot of high resolution images. And as you can see here, you had a really wide angle that now when you zoom in, you can see cattle and farm places and trees and textures that you can't see from the full view. So as you look at these photos, don't look at them for what they look like on screen. Look at them what they might look like if you had them in a print. Because as I said before, I want to make photos that are very accessible to as many people as possible. So Patreon supporters giving about $2 to $5 a month will be able to get access to images that are 4,000 by 6,000 pixels, or images such as this panoramic, which are much larger. They could get those, and they'd have them for far less the cost it would be to order it from a website. And they can own the resolution, or they can own the full resolution file themselves. And with that, they have the right to print it off themselves or take it to a store and get their own print done with a lot less cost. All right, the next location was halfway down Meadville Road. Originally, I missed it for no good explanation. There's a giant sign west of Springview that actually says Meadville Road, and then if you go down that way, it's real windy and it's kind of deceiving how long it is, but halfway down there's this little hook in the road at the end of someone's lane that looks like it was designed to be a lookout point, and it was perfect to be able to safely set up a table so I can take off with the drone. And this yellow triangle, the upper right corner, is where I took off from on the Meadville Road. And then the yellow highlighted area shows this. This is the perspective that I got. Again, like the first photo, I shot a panoramic to shoot both up the river and then up this little valley that connects with the river. Unfortunately, the lighting was a little off. I might have been there too early in the day, and the haze from the humidity and the sun kind of was hard to shoot from or shoot through, and I had to compensate through that. So it didn't turn out to be as good of a photo as I'd liked. I was still able to get pretty high resolution and detail, and it's nice to kind of explore and look through the photograph, but it's not my favorite. And it was after this that I ended up going to the bottom of Meadville Road, and I talked to some guys at a bar called the Post Office, and they directed me to this road called Norden Road. If you go down Norden Road, I will recommend that you want to go when the weather's good or when you have a four-wheel drive, because definitions of roads get kind of sketchy in Nebraska, and this one would be on the more sketchy side as far as like how much of a road is it really, because I would describe this road as mostly either silt or sand, an odd combination of both. And funny enough, they said this was the better road. The other option was River Road, which would be right on the left, and if I'd gone that route, they said I probably wouldn't have made it. Fortunately, I did make it, and I feel like these are the best photos I shot. I'm going to let you take a look though, and you can share your opinion and let me know if I'm correct. Well, I just exhausted the last battery of the drone. I was out by Meadville. I think it was called Meadville or Meadville Road. I don't know if there's an actual Meadville. The only thing I found was a bar labeled the Post Office. So if you go down Meadville Road and you see a place called the Post Office, that's a bar and restaurant. And I only had time to get a drink, but from what I saw on people's tables, the food looked good. What I was able to do was talk to a few locals who directed me down to Norden, and went down Norden Road, which that was a sketchy road. I would say that was iffy. It seemed like I was just 1 or 2 miles away from Deliverance when I was going down that road. There's a few iffy spots. The road was not gravel, it's more like a silt. So as long as it's dry, you'll make it in your Corolla or small car. Otherwise a truck with higher clearance is good. And I got here at about 7:30, was in the air by 7:40, and that's about as much time as I needed to get the aerials done. I rushed it a little bit because I was nervous with running out of time. Then the sun fell behind some clouds, and I think we're done. I think that's all she wrote. You can tell it's getting a little dark behind me. At least dark for shooting photos. But overall, it's a pretty good day. Pretty good trip so far. The first group of photos, I might be able to pull something out of it. It got progressively better. The second one was off a lookout spot on Meadville Road, but this one down by, well, I think they called it Norden Bridge, because once you get to Norden, you go south for, I felt like 8 or 10 miles, and then you cross Norden Bridge. And then it was a bit of a stoop to drive down here, but I made it and I'll get out just fine. Not bad though. Not a bad location if you're a photographer, and certainly nice if you want to
pull over and play in the water a little bit. Probably not the waterfall. That looks a little hectic. Okay, well, I got a 4-hour drive. It's about 8 o'clock. So at midnight, I'll hopefully get home. And I guess the decision will be, do I stay up and try to edit any photos or dump them over to the computer, or watch a movie, or both? I don't know. Or go to bed. Maybe I should go to bed. I took tomorrow off, which is awesome. So I'll burn it up, but I need to do some farm stuff. I got behind on that. Doing this stuff put me out behind on farming, so gotta go back to the grind, unfortunately. Anyway, thanks for watching. All right, have a good night.